Son Heung-min, the greatness created by humility. The fields of Chuncheon are veiled in a thick morning fog. The world is still asleep, but a young boy and his father are awake. The football at their feet is more than just a ball. It is a promise toward a dream, the first language the boy learns to communicate with the world. His father taught him something more important than technique. Before you become a footballer, you must first become a person. When training ended, his father taught the boy to put the ball down and bow his head. Gratitude for the ball, respect for the field. The boy was receiving his first lesson, not in football skills, but in the great philosophy of humility. At 16, the boy leaves for a bigger world. At the airport, bound for the unfamiliar land of Germany, his father's final piece of advice sounds like a contradiction. Be humble. But have more confidence than anyone. The boy engraved the weight of those words onto his heart. They would become his lifelong guide. The training grounds in Hamburg were cold, and language was a wall. Whenever loneliness crept in, the boy would polish his football. The only way to prove his father's words was through his ability. Silently, diligently, he began to prove himself on the pitch. He realized that humility speaks not through silence, but through skill. Time passed, and he stood at the pinnacle of the Premier League. The first Asian player to become the top scorer, the golden boot in his hands. Countless camera flashes went off, and the whole world chanted his name. At the height of his glory, the first person he sought out was a teammate. This award is not mine alone. Without my teammates, it would have been impossible. He turned the spotlight onto his colleagues. When he reached the highest place, he offered his thanks with the lowest posture. The first lesson he learned in the Chuncheon fog made him even greater in his most brilliant moment. As captain, he brought his team its first trophy in 60 years. In that moment of overwhelming emotion, he knelt before the fans, an apology for the long wait, and gratitude for a dream finally realized. The captain's tears were not just of joy, but of the weight of responsibility. After kissing the trophy, he lifted it high towards the fans. It was a silent dedication, a message that this glory belonged not just to the players, but to everyone who had cried and laughed with them. Through the trophy, he shared his heart with the fans, showing that true leadership comes from devotion, not authority. A new land of challenge, Los Angeles. The uniform had changed, but his philosophy had not. After his first goal for his new club, instead of his usual celebration, he made an LA with his fingers. It was a sign of respect for his new city, a humble greeting for the fans who had welcomed him. The bow that began in the Chuncheon fog has now become a language understood by the world. The football still rests at his feet, but his heart is always aimed at the lowest place. The higher he rises, the lower he bows. The greatness created by humility continues to shine quietly on the field today.